for these people to be considered coaches doesn't sit well with me because they could have zero experience. They could have literally just graduated high school. If it worked for you, it does not mean that it is going to work for anybody else. It could send them to the hospital. I didn't realize that telling this story was going to have this effect on me, so I apologize. Welcome back. I'm finally making my video about my Beachbody experience. It's a little bit of a doozy, probably not as much as the Sensi and the LuLaRoe stories, but it needs to be told. And I have a rant. Thank you for coming back to my channel. If you are a returning viewer, if you are new, welcome. My name is Sam, and I am an ex-serial MLMer and current legitimate business owner. All right, we're just going to jump right in. This is the shortest MLM that I've ever been in, but it's probably going to be a bit of a long video because I have feelings about what is going on in the coaching world of MLMs. We're first going to start with how I was first introduced to Beachbody. Back in 2009, I was engaged to my now husband, and I was not at optimal weight in my mind to be in a wedding dress. So I joined Weight Watchers. That's a whole nother video coming down the line. And I started Beachbody. While I lost a crap ton of weight and got in really good shape. I'm not saying that the Beachbody workouts themselves are crap. They are good workouts to an extent. So I did Beachbody. I did Insanity and P90X. At the time, they had like a combined calendar where you can mesh the two together and you had a whole plan for the month or however long you were doing it. So that is what I did with that. I was completely drained. They are not easy workouts by any means. And I remember that there was one day that I was in the middle of an Insanity workout and I just fell on the floor and started crying because I just felt so tired and so like I was overtraining myself. I felt like I had to keep going. My wedding was in about 2 weeks at that point. So I was just like, I just got to get through this. So that was my first experience with Beachbody. I was not a Beachbody coach at that time. I'm not even sure where we got our Beachbody DVDs from. My husband purchased them. I don't know if he did it through one of the infomercials or if he did it online. I don't remember, but we didn't know any Beachbody coaches. I was not really familiar with MLMs at that time. So I really had no idea what the business structure of Beachbody was like. I didn't find that out until I was in Sensi. And that is when I obviously became aware of the entire MLM world and learned like what businesses were actually MLMs that I didn't know about being MLMs. And so that is when I figured it all out. Honestly, can't remember when I was tricked into joining Beachbody. It was somewhere between 2016 and 2018. I just don't remember the exact year. Now, this was a time where I had, again, joined Weight Watchers. I had my oldest son. I don't think that I had my youngest son at that point. So I figured like, hey, this worked for me before. I'm going to rejoin Weight Watchers and look into starting Beachbody again. So I was already thinking about it and I had posted something on Facebook and somebody I went to school with had messaged me. So I don't remember exactly what she said or what I said. I remember there was something about Shakeology and how I was trying to lose weight and get back to how fit I was when I got married. I think she said that there was some kind of special going on, or I don't remember. I tried to find the conversation, but apparently it either got deleted or it was just too long ago for it to even be there still. Anyway, that's how it happened. I went back and forth for a little while, but of course she kept at it. I finally gave in. She sent me the link and I originally thought like it's just me filling out my information to get the Shakeology and then I had to pick a workout program. She told me which one to pick. I was like, all right. She's like,
we're having a challenge and you'll get to be inside of it and all of this.
I'm like, okay, cool. Accountability. Why not? I was desperate to get healthy again. It's been a journey for me, which we're going to get into. So I was desperate to get healthy again. I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to order the Shakeology through her and I'll get this workout program too. So I did that, got the Shakeology. This was the first time time I tried it because I had mentioned to her before that I've always wanted to try it, but I never got it. I tried it and it's the grossest thing I've ever drank. I got the chocolate flavor and it tasted like not at all chocolate. It tasted like fruit, but bad fruit. The superfoods they used were no good. So I ended up just having like 1 or 2 out of that one bag and it stayed in the pantry forever. The next month, my card was charged and I got more Shakeology. And I was like, what is going on? I didn't order this. So I log into my account and sure enough, I am a coach. I have a coach login. Editing Sam here. So I wanted to add in here that I know I should have known better. I know now that I should have read whatever I was signing up for. I was desperate at that moment and I did not know any better. I should have known. I should have read it. I shouldn't have been tricked into this, but I'm just telling you my story. I had to send them an email to cancel my subscription. Like it was annoying to get it canceled. There wasn't like a cancel button. I don't know if there is now, but I had to kind of jump through hoops to get it canceled. So during that time, I was in the challenge group. Whatever challenge group I was in, they never talked about like being part of Beachbody or running your business. So I'm not sure what exactly happened. I think I was signed up as a quote unquote discount coach, which I never wanted to be. I just wanted to get fit and I thought Shakeology was the answer. I don't know why I thought that. It was not the answer. I don't remember how that relationship ended. Like it is all such a blur to me. I don't know if it's because I've had the virus and my brain is all mush, but I don't really remember what happened. But I remember that it was like a hole that I fell into. And I'm like, I didn't sign up to be a coach. I canceled it and then became anti Beachbody from that point forward. Like I had the Beachbody on demand because it was already out when I had signed up. That is something that you got when you purchased whatever I purchased, I guess the coaching package membership, whatever it is. So I was doing some of those workouts. I was doing the 21-day fix at the same time as using the Shakeology and I gave up on that before anything even happened. That's my short and sweet story about my Beachbody coach experience. I never marketed to anybody. I never said I was a Beachbody coach. I was just accidentally a Beachbody coach. Now I want to get into my problem with the coaching MLMs. I went on and I gave them the benefit of the doubt. I've watched other videos by Deanna and Chelsea and Isabella about these MLMs. So I know all MLMs are garbage, but I gave them the benefit of the doubt and I wanted to do my own research. So I did. And not one single one of these health MLMs or coaching MLMs require any kind of education. I will say that I am a certified nutrition coach and I'm also a certified personal trainer. So I run a coaching business that I have education and ongoing education for, requirements to keep up a certification, and I also have a medical background. So for these people to be considered coaches doesn't sit well with me because they could have zero experience. They could have literally just graduated high school if they're 18 and sign up for a number of MLMs that gives them the title coach, including Beachbody, Modere, Optavia, that's one that really ticks me off. itWorks, Pruvit, and many others. Like there's too many and nobody is regulating this. Like, why is it okay for these people to recommend these supplements or these workout programs when they have zero background on it? If it worked for you, it does not mean that it is going to work for anybody else. It could send them to the hospital. It could give them a reaction. It could injure them. Like you are not qualified to be a coach and coaching people through these things. You have no training. You paid money to join an MLM and they gave you the title coach, and it does not mean that you can go and coach somebody's health. I am not okay with it. I am clearly very passionate about it. There are certain ways that you have to evaluate a client. You have to get a full health history. You have to get a full medication history. What medications are they taking? Can this supplement interact with that medication? Should I be recommending this supplement if they're on this medication or if they have this condition? You don't know. You are just blindly going out and recommending this trim gunk and these fuelings to help people. No, you are helping line your pocket, which you're probably not. You're probably losing money. Let's be honest. And you're helping line the pockets of the MLM company. I'm telling you, it's a matter of time before they all get shut down. This is not okay and it needs to be stopped. And those are my thoughts on that. Now, I want to give you a little bit of a background on how I got into the whole. I don't even like calling myself a coach because of these people. Like, I am a legitimate coach. Like, I have certifications behind it. And these people are going around. I'm going off again. These people are going around and giving us legitimate, trained, certified coaches that went through training and had to learn these things. You're giving us a bad name when we legitimately know what we're talking about. And people are coming to us and they're telling us, well, I'm taking this Modere trim. No, stop taking that. Stop, just stop. Eat a healthy meal. Let me reel it in. So I wanted to give you a little bit of a background of how I got to where I am and how I got into the coaching industry, legitimate coaching industry. They should just give us a different name. They should. Since I mentioned it, I just want to give a little bit of a background. So from far back as I can remember, like when I was 6 years old, we're going to have a trigger warning. Trigger warning. We're going to talk about some sensitive, disordered eating patterns. If that is something that triggers you, please peace out and I'll see you in the next video. Totally get it. No offense taken. So with that, I'll go into my background. As far back as I can remember, when I was about 6 years old, I used to sneak into the cabinets and I would grab boxes of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, big handfuls of Chips Ahoy cookies, and bring them into my room. I would close the door. My parents would be in bed, so they didn't know what I was doing. And I would just binge eat my way through the night. I would sit there and watch MTV or Nick at Night or whatever was on TV that I wanted to watch in my bed, eating Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Chips Ahoy, other things, but I don't remember. Those are the two that I still remember because they're still triggers for me. There's Cinnamon Toast Crunch in our pantry right now for my kids, and I don't want it there. So I have always had an issue. I had gone on from 6 to, I would say, probably about 10 years old, and I was drinking 12 packs of Pepsi, 1 case a day. So I would drink 12 cans of Pepsi a day. And I was not a healthy kid. So I was a little chunky. I probably should have been chunkier, but somehow my metabolism managed to keep up with it, but took a hit when I was older. I think I was in 8th grade when I gave up soda altogether and I lost quite a bit of weight. To this day, I can't stand soda. It's not a trigger for me. That is not a trigger for me at all. I hate soda. Like I can't even, I don't even know how people drink it. It's gross. I still continued up until probably about 2 years ago, binging at night, watching TV, until I finally realized like, this is not okay. I've always battled with my weight up until about a year ago when I opened my eyes and realized how unhealthy I had gotten. I was at the heaviest I've ever been, and I felt so bad about myself that I wouldn't even walk to get the mail. I didn't realize that telling this story was going to have this effect on me, so I apologize. From the end of summer of 2021 until April of this year, which is 2022, and it is now currently September of 2022, I felt horrible mentally and physically. Okay, I had to take a break. So I wouldn't even leave the house to walk and get the mail because that meant that I had to move, first of all, and everything hurt. And I had to find clothes that fit, and there were none of those. So I was either having to put my husband's clothes on to feel like I can be seen to some extent, or just stay on the couch with a blanket. So I knew that I needed to do something. I needed to take some kind of action. In April of this year, 2022, I went to Kansas City for a business retreat that I was going on with my business coach, and I saw a picture of myself. That picture was the biggest eye opener for me. My face was so inflamed. I was so uncomfortable being seen by people. And when I got home, I made an appointment to go see my doctor and talk about my antidepressants because they were no longer as effective as they were when I first started them in the beginning of summer 2021, which is when I was first diagnosed with clinical depression. So I went to see her, and at that point, we found out that I have gotten so unhealthy that I was pre-diabetic and I had insulin resistance. And it was making it really hard for me to lose weight. And the reason for that is because I didn't know. At that point, I was already working on exercising and eating right for about a month. It was sometime in May when I went to see her again. I told her what I was eating. Luckily I was keeping track of everything that I was eating in the MyFitnessPal app. And so I told her like my macros and what I was eating for carbs. And she said, okay, let's bring your carbs down, and then you'll probably have to adjust your calories and whatnot. So I did that, and I figured out like what works for my body and what I should be eating. And I finally started losing weight. I have lost over 30 pounds at this point, and I have been exercising every day, and I feel really, really good, the best I've felt in years. And with that, earlier this summer, I had people coming and asking me what I was doing to lose the weight and feel better. And from a medical background standpoint, I didn't feel comfortable helping anybody without a certification. So I went and I got my nutrition coaching certification through NASM. And I also got my personal training certification because I remember how I felt in April of this year when I needed help, and seemed like everyone that was qualified to help me, that had a certification or any type of training, didn't understand what I was going through. The path that got me to where I was. The path that got me to the most unhealthy place I have ever been in my life. And I just want to help other people who are in that place that I was in. And I want them to know that there's a way out and that I'm proof of it. And I would have felt more comfort knowing that someone that came from a similar experience of what I was going through is helping me get on the other side and get healthy and figure out what works for my body. And so that's what motivated me to go and get legitimate certifications to help others do this for themselves. And that is why I am so passionate about these MLM companies giving these essentially employees the title of coach. It needs to stop, because people who are in the same place that I was are falling for it, and it could put them in a worse place. And it's not okay. It's got to stop. Sorry, it got a little somber at the end there. I promise I don't want my channel to be like that. I just wanted to know, I wanted to let you know where I was coming from and why I get so heated over like Beachbody and Optavia and Pruvit and all of these things. I'll have to go into Pruvit's keto. I've also tried keto in the past, so I have feelings on that. I will see you guys in the next video.